Hi guys, it's album review time. We've got Witherfall and Sounds of the Forgotten. This album's coming out on May the 31st on Death Wave Records. It's the band's own label. How cool is that? 10 tracks. It's their fourth album from this American prog, power, thrash, dark metal band. It's one of those bands that, you know, it's hard to pinpoint. All you can say is Witherfall. That's all you can say, I suppose. Their last album was Curse of Autumn. That was brilliant. That came out maybe 3 or 4 years ago. An amazing piece of work that was. This one, let me tell you, is even better. And that's what Witherfall have done. They've progressed on every album, and every album is a little bit better than the last one, no matter how brilliant it was. Let me run you through the guys in the band. You've got Joseph Michael on vocals. Man, what a vocalist this guy is. The power, the subtlety sometimes. Sometimes there's a vulnerability in his vocals, but man, he is just one amazing talent. And it's almost like if you didn't know who Witherfall were and someone played you a song, you'd think there's 2 or 3 singers in one song. He just can, like, he's got this twisted element to his vocals as well sometimes. Amazing vocalist. And you've got Jake Dreyer on the guitars. Man, what a guitarist. This is guitar heavy, guys, all the way through. There's so much guitar to uncover on this album. There's really difficult, technical, progressive moments. There's thrashy elements. There's beautiful, intricate parts. He is one amazing player. Then on the rhythm section, you've got Anthony Crawford on the bass and Chris Tesagenis, I think that's how you pronounce his name, on the drums. These guys are just so tight. This is a really complex album at times, so having the best people in the business of your rhythm section is the answer. That's what you get here. Then you've got Jerry Hirschfield on the keys, and a massive important part of this band. And there's some really cool elements. There's a darkness to this band. There's almost a gothic horror feel sometimes this band. And Jerry Hirschfield really gives that through some really cool, almost church Hammond organ type parts. Then you've got Mario Miniman also on the drums, just doing a few parts on the drums. I think he appeared on the last album as well. But yeah, the musicianship across this album, guys, is amazing. But I do want to get onto the songs because that's the most important thing. But let me give you a little background on this album first. So looking at the band's website as well, they were saying that after Curse of Autumn came out, which was just before the pandemic, I believe, they were ready to like hit the touring and all that and promote the album, and it all just went to shit because of the pandemic. So they left in a really shitty situation, a bit like a lot of bands were at that time, obviously. And through the first initial songwriting for this album, frustration really showed in that, and probably anger, and yeah, because of the pandemic situation. And then they sort of got a bit more reflective, and that's how the song sort of turned out, and they shifted into a more empowering style, if you like. So I feel you get all of those things here. You get them emotions, so much emotion. You get anger, frustration and anguish, but also, like the band, we're talking about that empowerment side, strength, optimism, all shows through on these songs. It's a very ambitious album, as you can imagine. It's Witherfall. They are very ambitious, and man, there's some, you know, within one song here, so many twists and turns. It's just an amazing bit of work. And every emotion, I feel, is heard on this album. It's heavy, it's dark, it's beautiful, it's so epic sounding. And a lot of that has to do with the production of this album. Zeus is producing. Wow, what an amazing producer Zeus is. One of my favourites. And the cool thing about Zeus is he can go across different bands and different projects, and his production sound different for those bands. He sort of adapts his own style to suit them. A bit like, you know, it's like the opposite to Andy Sneap, if you like. Although I like Andy Sneap's production, you know, he goes across Judas Priest, he goes across Saxon and other projects, and he sounds very similar in the production. It's very good, all of it's good. But Zeus is a different beast altogether, I think. And even though this album is very epic, it still sounds really grounded as well. The instruments cut through nicely. It doesn't feel like there are too many layers on the guitars. It's got a great sound to it. It's very organic, almost live feel to it. Really clever songwriting and great production. Give that. Okay, let's get on to the songs. So there's a lot of songs that have come out, been released, and it seems like a lifetime since we heard the first song released. But I mean, you have heard a lot of singles off this album, so a lot of the album has been released already, but I'm going to run through my favourites. They Will Let You Down is the opening track, latest single from the... Man, from that opening metal scream, you were hit like a ton of bricks with a heavy, dark, thrash riff. And out of the madness of those verses comes a huge chorus, man, that almost had this gothic feel, like I was talking about. Hammond organ is introduced, this adds to the darkness of the track. It's just brilliant. The first of many mind-blowing progressive musical passages hits just after Joseph Michael delivers almost a black metal type vocal. It's dark, it's heavy, it's beautiful at the same time. A crushing start to the album. Where Do I Begin is the next track. I love this song. Straight away after the relentless opening track, the band sort of go in a completely different direction with an amazing ballad. Joseph Michael, almost vulnerable vocal style is a thing of beauty in this track, man. Emotions just run through the track as I get a sort of classic Crimson Glory vibe here sometimes. The guitars are back in the mix, sort of held back a little bit as they should be. It's a ballad, although we do get a great instrumental section where Jake Dyer just hones in on his classic metal chops for a really melodic guitar solo. It's epic, it's beautiful, it's Witherfall. What more can I say? Then I want to talk about Ceremony of Fire. 7.5 minutes of brilliance. Another beautiful intro with clean guitar for about 30 seconds. Then a frenetic riff just hits hard. There's a really catchy vocal line, sang beautifully by Joseph Michael. I tell you, the band really know how to sort of transition from heavy to sort of almost grandiose as another ultra heavy chorus hits hard. There's beautiful keyboard touches, man. And Joseph Michael's almost showing that anguish in his vocal delivery. I fucking love the change up. There's like a change up halfway through as the rest of the band sort of step back a little bit and let the heavy riffing of Jake Dyer's guitar take sort of center stage. Just a little bit of tinkering piano and an amazing vocal section for Joseph Michael. So powerful in this bit. There's a brilliant instrumental section that almost has a Eastern melody to it, especially at the start. And there's so many twists and turns in this track as we sort of reach a beautiful passage of music. And it almost turns into ballad territory for a little while, and then sort of goes into a more acoustic guitar bit and a sort of more subdued version of the chorus. Amazing song. Sounds of the Forgotten is the next track I want to talk about. It's obviously the title track, and it's a dark track that sees the band sort of slowing things down a little bit. It seems sort of ballad territory, but has some really dynamic elements to it. An absolutely huge chorus again, of course. This is just typical Witherfall though, man. That's only a good thing. Haunting, melancholy and full of emotion. A beautiful piece of music. The chorus literally is one of the best I've heard from the band. And that's saying something. The band at their best. And then we move on to When It All Falls Away. I love this song. I love this song. Again, I feel Crimson Glory vibes here a little bit. And Joseph Michael delivers an amazing vocal performance here. Whispery at times and vulnerable again at other times, and then powerful. Just blows your mind, man. Again, another brilliant chorus on this song. The first time we were hearing this, you were expecting sort of crushing guitars to hit at the 4-minute mark. It sort of has that stops and you think, here we go. But instead we get one of the most emotional guitar parts, acoustic guitar parts, and it leads to the band kicking in a bit later on. And we are left with one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. It's a really cool instrumental song. I don't usually talk about instrumental songs, but it's sort of a gorgeous piece of music that really showcases Jake Dyer, sort of like acoustic guitar, flamenco style. It's just jaw-dropping, man. It's a cool intro to the final track, which is What Have You Done? A prog masterpiece. There's so much to cover here, man. The 10-minute, 19-second running time doesn't seem enough. It really doesn't. Just flies by as we just step back in awe of this brilliant song from this band. Light and shade is used brilliantly as we have gorgeous piano parts and ultra heavy guitar riffery, then crushing moments. That gothic horror vibe is present on parts of this song as well, with that Hammond organ kicking in. It's slow, then it's fast, it's medium paced, it has everything, and it's wrapped up in the gorgeous Witherfall sound. Even Queen come to mind a little bit. There's sort of an element that sounds a little bit like Queen is this short guitar section. It's brilliant, man. And the best thing about this band is no matter how much prog they hit you with. It's always memorable though, as it is with this song. That's why I love them so much. There's so much to unpack in this song, man. Almost 4 songs in one, each one of them having its own hook and delivery. A huge prog masterpiece. So that's it, guys. Witherfall, Sounds of the Forgotten. Amazing 4th album from this band, and their best yet. If you know Witherfall already, you know you're expecting brilliance. If you don't know them, have a listen. You won't be disappointed. I'll see you soon.